Presenter from APMP, COMET, URAMET, GovMet, and SIM. Secretariat, you can check for me. So for those from RMOs I've mentioned, APMP, COMET, URAMET, GovMet, and SIM, if you are present, indicate. We'll give you an opportunity to immediately make your brief presentation within 5 to 6 minutes. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Okay. So APMP, are you in the meeting? Any indications? What I mean is, are they speaking there? Just indicate if you're present from APMP. Ah, excellent. So APMP, you are ready? You have the floor. Okay. Please, you can proceed, please, to make your presentation. Thank you so much for joining us. We know you are ahead of time, and you've decided to stick on and make a presentation. Over to you, please. Apologies, dear case, I think we don't have yet APNMP. A presenter from COMET. The presenter from COMET.
Hello. Yes. I'm head of the COMET Secretariat, but if it's possible, I need another 5 minutes for preparation, and after that I can provide the information from COMET.
Please proceed. Thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Marat, Professor,
thank you too.
Join us. Thanks so much.
Marat, if you want to, I can start SIM, and then you can continue.
Hi, Javier. If it's possible, please go ahead. I will be next.
Okay, perfect. Then we're gonna swap from COMET to SIM, and then COMET after SIM. Is that okay with you guys? Is that okay?
You may proceed, please. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks, Javier.
Yes, please. You're welcome. Just confirm that you can see the presentation over there in presentation mode, and I will go on. Okay, I'm assuming, since I cannot see, I'm assuming that you've seen the presentation. Good afternoon for you guys. This is morning over here. Javier Arias, SIM Vice President, former SIM President, and former SIM Project Manager. Actually, I am the Director of SENAMET, which is the National Metrology Institute in Panama. Okay, as you all know, SIM is a remote for the Americas, and just to be over here, as you mentioned, 5 minutes, we're going to try to go quick on this. SIM.
Sorry, sir. Can you proceed now? There were a technical issue. Can you please proceed now?
Comet, please, when you can proceed, share your presentation and go ahead with your presentation.
Dear colleagues, you are hear me?
We can hear you very clearly. Proceed, please.
Okay. Dear colleagues, thank you very much. My name is Lazbek Saydaripov. I am president of Comet and first deputy director of Uzbek Agency for Technical Regulation. It's a big pleasure to speak to you today, and thank you very much for invitation. For me and for Comet team is a big honor. First of all, I would like to thank you, AFRIMETS, for invitation and giving Comet the opportunity to take part in this meeting. Unfortunately, I could not join you in Addis Ababa in person. I very much wanted to be with you today, but it's some problem with the visa and some business trip. I hope I can take part in one of your future events and meet all of you. Today, the report on behalf of Comet will be presented by Marat Yunusov. Marat is head of Comet Secretariat. Today, we will speak about our organization, its main activities, and cooperation between Comet and AFRIMETE. Thank you very much, and congratulations, dear colleagues. Marat, please, floor for you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will try to share my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Dear colleagues, my name is Marat Yunusov and I am head of the Comet Secretariat. I am pleased to speak to you today and to present this report on behalf of Comet. I hope I chose the right view of Addis Ababa. I never was there, maybe in future. But I will use this for my opening slide. Thank you for giving the opportunity to introduce our organization and to share our work, plans, and ideas for future cooperation. Let me start with the vision and mission of Comet. Our vision is for Comet to be an efficient, representative, and competent regional metrology organization, which is recognized by the international community. Our mission is to support the development of metrology and integrate and measurement infrastructure in the Euro-Asian region and also for other interesting countries. This infrastructure should help every national metrology institute support innovation, competitiveness, trade, customer safety, and some stability development. It should also help institutes gain international recognition. This slide shows the main milestones in the Comet history. Our cooperation started in 1991 with metrology institutions from the 5 countries. So now you can see we're already a huge organization, and Comet act both as a regional metrology organization and as a regional legal metrology organization. This slide also shows when Comet start working with the JCRB and the OML Roundtable of regional legal metrology organizations. COMET has taken part in both since they were established. The next slide represents all the presidents of COMET. Each of them helped to share our organization and develop regional cooperation. And although the priority changed over the time, the main goal remained the same: to strengthen cooperation between our metrology institutions and support their integration into the international metrology system. Today, COMET includes metrology institutions from 70 countries and economies. Our region covers a very large geographical area, and you can see on the slide our map. The COMET Secretariat also working to explain this network. We are holding talks and working meeting with institutions interested in closer cooperation with COMET. A good example of our current work with the Metrology Institution of Iran and Turkmenistan. We are discussing the possible form of the closer cooperation and participation in COMET activities. Next slide. Provide the information in three forms of participation: membership in COMET, status under the Metric Convention, and membership status in the OIML. I would especially like to note the recent progress made by our colleagues from Armenia. Armenia became an associate state of CGPM and the corresponding member of the OIML. The important steps towards closer integration in the international metrology system. It's also a special pleasure for me to mention that Uzbekistan, because I am represent the Uzbek National Institute of Metrology, Uzbekistan acceded to the Metric Convention and become a member state of the BIPM. This marked its move from associate status to the full membership. The next three slides show the information what I just said. Now let's look to the structure of COMET. The organization is headed by the president. The president formed the presidential council, which include the president, 4 vice presidents, and the head of the secretariat. The work of COMET is organized in 5 main areas: the Joint Committee for Measurement Standards, Legal Metrology, the Quality Forum, Information and Training, and Prospective Research areas. Together they cover the main areas of cooperation in COMET. COMET also has 3 target groups for revision of foundation documents, also works on digital transformation in metrology. Also we have the SIMS group. It's this target group supports countries with emerging metrology systems. The COMET committee is the highest decision-making body of our organization. We follow the principle one country or economies. It means one representative. This gives every member an equal voice in discussion of the main decision and priorities of COMET. You have already heard from the president of COMET, Mr. Vladisbek Saidaripov. He is at the same time the first deputy director of the Uzbek Agency for Technical Regulation in Uzbekistan. Mr. Saidaripov has led COMET for just over 3 years. A few months ago, the COMET committee re-elected him for a new term until 2030. The president is responsible for general management of COMET. He also coordinates cooperation in legal metrology and our work with international and regional metrology organizations. Several key priorities has been identified for the next term. The first is to develop a new COMET strategy. The other priorities are strengthen the international standing of COMET and make cooperation with the other regional metrology organization more regular and systematic. COMET also will help its member institution take a more active part in the international metrology systems. And another priority is to strengthen the role of COMET in the development of national metrology system. The president is supported by 4 COMET vice presidents. Each vice president is responsible for the specific area. Mr. Evgeny Lazarenko from Rosstandart, Russia, he is responsible for measurement standards and the use of informational technologies. Mr. Azer Gurbanov from Azmi, Azerbaijan, is responsible for the development and peer review of quality management system. Dr. Mustafa Çetintaş from TÜBİTAK, Turkey, he is responsible for innovation and joint scientific research. And Dr. Zifen Tu from Nîmes, China, he is responsible for capacity building and knowledge transfer. The COMET Secretariat is made up of staff member of the Uzbek National Institute of Metrology. The Secretariat team include Mr. Ruslan Valiyev and Mr. Olmos Akbarov. They manage COMET information resource and help coordinate in-person and online meetings. Their work support regular communication between COMET members and structural bodies of COMET. As you can see, I am a head of the COMET Secretariat. I manage the work of the Secretariat and provide general coordination within the organization. I also coordinate our work with external partners, including international and regional metrology organizations. The Secretariat connects the President, the Presidential Council, the COMET Committee, structural bodies, member institutions, and external partners. COMET take part in main global events in the international metrology community. This slide shows the several examples from last year. The meeting of JCRB in Tashkent, the OML conference, and the CIML meeting, which was in Paris, and also meeting of the partners of BIPM in Sever. I would especially like to mention that last meeting of JCRB, it was hosted by Uzbek National Institute of Metrology in last September. A representative of the BIPM headquarters and the regional metrology organization joined the meeting. I would like also to thank AFRIMETS for sending Ms. Lerato as its delegate. She took an active part in this meeting and present the position of the AFRIMETS region. On the following day, COMET organized a roundtable. The name of this roundtable was the Challenges and Opportunities of the CIPM MRA. The event was mainly intended for COMET institutions that had not yet joined to the arrangement, and the participants include a representative of ARM Standard Armenia, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. The roundtable gave them direct access to the information, practical experience, and advice from the BIPM and international experts. The roundtable had a huge program. The speakers include Dr. Martin Milton, who was the director of the BIPM at that time. Mr. Chingiz Kuanbayev represents the BIPM headquarters. Dr. Kazuaki Yamazawa took part as executive secretary of the JCRB, and Mr. Nikita Zvagin represented COMET in the JCRB. The program also includes the experience of individual countries. For example, Mr. Javier Arias represents the experience of Panama. At the same time, he was also president of SIM. Mr. Nuruddin Rayanjonov represents the experience of Uzbekistan, and Mr. Nurbek Habib spoke about the part followed by Kazakhstan. The event showed 3 important things: the impact of COMET, the support of the BIPM headquarters, and the involvement of all global metrology community. So in June of this year, COMET held its COMET committee meeting. It's the same level of events like in AFRIMETE, it's General Assembly. During this meeting, COMET members review the result of their work, make key decisions, and agree on future priorities. This year is also special for us because COMET is celebrating its 35th anniversary. On this slide, you can see the anniversary cake prepared by our host, Tajikistan. As metrologists, of course, we couldn't now ignore its mass. The cake had a mass of 35 kilograms. It means 1 kilogram for every year of productive cooperation within COMET. It was a memorable way to celebrate this important milestone. During the meeting of Dushanbe, we also launched a new COMET information resource. This slide shows the moment of this official launch. The new website is available at comet.info. It provides information about COMET, its member activities, meetings, project and results. Now let me present a few figures. This slide shows the total numbers of calibration and measurement capabilities, or CMCs, published in the KCDB and grouped by regional metrology organization. As you can see, COMET is in the 3rd place and AFRIMETE in the 4th. This figure shows that both regions already have strong measurement capabilities. They also show that there is still much room for future development. Institutions from 5 countries currently publish their CMC through COMET. The countries are Azerbaijan, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Russia, and Uzbekistan. Work is also underway to restore the CMCs of Cuba. Some COMET member institutions publish their CMCs through other regional metrology organizations. Therefore, the slides show only the CMC submitted and reviewed through COMET. This slide shows the number of COMET CMCs in each area of metrology. It helps us to see the areas in which COMET already has strong and international recognized capabilities. It also shows where more comparison, peer reviews, training, and regional cooperation may be needed. The next slide presents the COMET calendar of upcoming events. COMET is a pleasure to invite representatives of AFRIMETE and its member institution to take part in our events. Such participation will help us share experience and current information, build professional contacts, and create new opportunities for cooperation. I would especially like to mention the BIPM COMET UTC Summer School 2026. It will take place from 28 to 30 September of this year in Tashkent, Uzbekistan, and the Uzbek National Institute of Metrology. The summer school will include international and regional experts in UTC, timekeeping, and related areas. Now let me speak about cooperation between COMET and AFRIMETE through international comparisons. The Uzbek National Institute of Metrology is currently taking part in 2 AFRIMETE comparisons. One comparison is in electricity and magnetism, the other is in mass and related quantities. In both cases, the COMET participant is UZNIM, Uzbek National Institute of Metrology. I am personally involved in comparison in mass. I would like to thank our AFRIMETE colleagues for their support and for giving institutions from other regions the opportunity to participate. At present, institutes from AFRIMETE are not taking part in current COMET comparison. However, we already have positive experience from the past. National Metrology Institutes from South Africa and Egypt took part in 2 COMET comparisons. This shows that there is a great potential for future cooperation. Our organizations can help each other to take part in more comparisons, share technical experience, and create new opportunities for international recognition. The next meeting of COMET committee is planned for May or June of the next year in Kazakhstan. COMET is pleasure to invite AFRIMETS to take part in the main annual meeting of our organization. More information about the dates, venue, and program will be provided later. We hope that AFRIMETS will be represented in this meeting, and that I will become another step. It will become another step towards closer cooperation between our regions. This final slide brings me back to where I start. My name is Murat Yunusov, and I'm head of the COMET Secretariat. You can see my contact information on the screen. The COMET Secretariat is always open to dialogue, cooperation, exchange of experience, and new joint activities. Thank you once again for the invitation and for the opportunity to present COMET. We look forward to close and practical cooperation between COMET and AFRIMETS. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much.
Dear colleagues.
Thank you very much, Marat, for that presentation. Mr. President, you can conclude.
Yes, dear colleagues, thank you very much. Please accept our warmest wishes on this special occasion, 20 years AFRIMETS. It's a true honor to celebrate such important milestone amongst you. May the years ahead bring even more success, unity, and reasons to be proud of all we accomplished together. Thank you very much, and thank you for cooperation.
Thank you so much.
COMET and AFRIMETE together.
Mr. President, I'd like to thank you for this presentation by the Secretariat read by Marat. Thank you so much for that presentation, which is enriched. And so congratulations for the 35 years anniversary you've just celebrated. We're just hoping the cake should have come to Addis Ababa to partake of the 35 kg. And I'd like to acknowledge your invitation on the 39th meeting you're having next year in 2027. Thank you so much for finding time and to be part with us. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Dear delegates, we move now to the next presenter from EURAMET. Want to check if APMP is ready to present. Is the delegates from APMP ready? If they're not, we are moving on to EURAMET now. Can EURAMET please indicate if you are ready to present? Okay. Presenters from EURAMET, are you present in the meeting? Okay, we'll proceed for time to GulfMet. The presenters from GulfMet, you have the floor to make your presentation. Secretary, check that. Moving on to SIM. The presenters from SIM, if you are ready, please, you may take the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but I don't know if they can hear me on the room because I don't hear them say anything.
From SIM, okay.
I'm assuming that they can see. Can you see the presentation on the room?
Please proceed. Yeah, we can hear you. Proceed. You have the floor.
Okay. Okay, thank you. My name is Javier Arias. Please confirm that you can see the presentation. Because I see myself on the screen. I don't see the presentation. Let me make sure that you see it over there. Yes, coming up. Okay. Presentation mode. There you go. Okay, can you hear me? I'm gonna assume that you're listening to me because I cannot see the screen anymore. Okay, my name is Javier Arias. I am the SIM Vice President at this moment. I'm gonna try to, based on your request, try to be quick and try to get the presentation within 5 to 6 minutes. Basically, as an RMO, we have our vision, mission, and values. SIM has been a RMO from 45 years already, 47 actually, so I would like to say congratulations to Kumet also on their 35th anniversary. In SIM, we are 54 members right now. Out of those 54, we have 33 member NMIs, and we have some 17 designated institutes in different countries and 4 affiliate members. Besides that, we also work with some liaison organizations, such as AFRIMETE in this case, of course. The structure of SIN has not changed too much this year. We only have one of the newcomers into the Steering Council, which is our board of directors body. The newcomer was Mrs. Isabel Amen, who used to be the QSTS vice chair. She stepped up now to be the chair. And we made a swap in the presidency and vice presidency. I used to be the president, and Archimedes used to be the vice president. So for the next 3 years now, he takes over as the president of SIN. I will remain as vice president for 2 years, and then we will look for the new president to be declared, and he will take the vice presidency for 1 year. That's the way we work. Besides, on the lower row, we have the chairs or coordinators of the 5 different sub-regions, because in SIMS we work together and divided as sub-regions. We have North America area, Central America area, the Caribbean area, the Indian countries, and the South American countries. This year we also have a change in our secretariat. Our former secretariat already went into retirement this year, so we recruited 2 newcomers from 2 of the NMI's members. We have Mrs. Sonia Chan from Paraguay. She used to be the technical director in the National Institute in Paraguay. She's working with us now as executive secretariat. And we also have Mr. Ezequiel Gonzalez, who used to work in India, Argentina, in their international relations, international affairs department. He's now also the assistant of the secretariat. Over here, as also Marat was mentioning before, I think is the most important, simple but most important slide of the presentation. These are the 14 different working groups that we have within SIM. The first 10 groups are actually quantity groups, technical groups, each one in a different area for metrology that we work. And then after the 10, the 11th, and so on, are the more horizontal or transversal groups. These have to deal with legal metrology, of course, related to OIML. Also, group number 12 related to quality system. This is the group that actually prepares our quality system from all the RMOs and DIs, and they are prepared so that later on they can go up to be part of the QSTF, who is the regional body. We have statistics and uncertainty group to try to prepare and train all the different groups specifically on uncertainty. And of course, the last one, but the most active one at this time, is the M4DT, which is the Metrology for Digital Transformation group, that also has to be in contact with all the other groups, because the idea of this group is to help all the different areas to be digitalized. Here, as you can see at the VIPN platform also, we show which is SIM in numbers. We have close to 4,500 SIMs in different areas. You can see there that quantity-related areas, chemical metrology, electricity are the ones with more CMCs. And we also have close to, I would say, 200 key comparisons, supplementary comparisons in different areas. Important here, one of the things that we try to do in SIM is that the comparisons are not only piloted by the big laboratories. We also try to have the small laboratories to work on the exercise of piloting a comparison. Talking about meetings, as opposed to most of the RMOs, we are like upside down. We have our main meeting, which is our GA, at the end of the year. Last year it was in Ottawa, Canada, and this year it will be in Quito, Ecuador. It is usually between October to November. Sometimes this year will be basically the same week as the I think the APMP GA2. And then during the mid-year in May, June, we have what we call our council meeting. In this meeting, we actually get together the council, 10 people, the QSTF to validate all the systems that we can during the mid of the year, and the TCs, the TC shares. We also try to have together all the shares of the 14 TC groups, and we try together, and then this is like a operating strategic meeting basically this year. One of the things that we also have to mention is that in SIM, the QSTF does not only validate or approve the quality system for 17025. We also validate for those NMIs that have the capacity, the ISO standard for 17034, which is certified reference material, and for 17043, which is proficiency testing. These last two sessions from GA November to Guyana's council meeting in May, we have already, this is just to go quickly, we have already approved all the quality systems for 13 of our 16 SIM members that already participate in the ACDB. And you consider the different quantities in which they have their CMC. So my invitation to AFRIMETE members is that if you want to have like a training capacity or participate in different comparisons with SIM, you can just contact either the members of the SIM groups, or you can contact us, myself, the president or the secretariat, and we will try to arrange that for you. The different projects that we have two different types of projects. The one that we, let's say, subsidize with SIM funds coming from our annual fees, which is mainly addressed to regional group meetings or specific trainings in specific areas that we want to develop within SIM, and then the regional activities that we work together with the international organizations such as PTB, IDB, World Bank, things like that. One of the most important activities that we have had through the last year is the SIM NCSLI Early Career Metrologist. During the early presentation before lunch, I also heard that you were talking about AFRIMETE School. I'm going to talk about that also. But in this one over here, we already have 6 years, year after year, trying to have young metrologists to present scientific papers. And these papers are evaluated by a SIM committee. And we try to select 5 winners if the papers are really good. And then we send these young metrologists to present their papers to the NCSLI Congress in the United States, not in front of metrologists, not in front of people from their NMI or the RMO, but to present the paper in front of the industrial manufacturers of the United States, so that they actually take questions from the actual real people who uses and can create new technology. This year we have the winners from the North America area, Central America, the Andean countries, and the Suramed. Too bad we didn't have winners from the Caribbean region this year. One of the results of this young development for metrologists is actually we have Mr. Christopher Paredes from the Colombian NMI, who was one of the young winners in 2022. Later on last year also he participated and was one of the young metrologists in the BIPM 150 year celebration. And as a result of that, he's now working for 3 years in the BIPM. So that tells us that working together with young people also, it's a reflection of what we need, because now he's going to be able to come back in a couple of years to Colombia, to SIM, and to actually bring all that experience from the IPM to the SIM community once again. Also, this year, same as Kumet was mentioning, they will have it in September. We already had our BIPMC UTC Summer School last May in Mexico. We have people from 10 different countries, around 30 participants between the NMIs, the RMOs, and also the NMIs, the DIs, and some invites from other RMOs. We also, as you were mentioning, we have a SIM school, which we try to have it every 5 years. And as the last one was in 2024. And as a result of the SIM school, then we try to consolidate the relationship and the experience in the SIM school by doing some internship later on. So we inviting the participants to mingle among all participants to try to detect which areas they need to develop in their countries, and then try to seek for internship within those. As a result of that relationship, because usually these metrologists don't know each other, so they spend together 1 week in one place. This last year was in Colombia. As a result of that, then they have to prepare different papers or projects, and then we have the resulting 20 different internships in which we have metrologists from 12 NMIs or DIs participating for 2 weeks up to 4 weeks, so 2 weeks to a month in different RMOs in internships. And this year, the most important were in chemistry, electricity, math, but you can also see the rest of the metrology fields that we cover over there. Also, 2 months ago, 5 of our TC chairs participated in the CIPM MRA Summer School. I am assuming that also you send people from AFRIMETE. We have our 5 chairs of the metrology working groups A1, 3, 9, and 7, which are basically masses, audio, vibration, temperature, electricity, and chemistry. Also, just last month, we have also another training in terms of pressure here in Panama, and we also took the opportunity not to just train in math, in pressure, but also we took these 15 people who are the ones who actually have to input the data into the KCDB. So we also had a 3-day training on how to input all the CMCs into the KCDB system. And the last 2 slides that I want to mention over here is basically our main group, as I mentioned before, is the Metrology for Data Transformation. This is the group that has to support all the other groups and all the other RMOs, NMIs, in terms of digitalization. We have been working together since 2017 around. We try to have yearly conference every year, 1 or 2 conference within the same area. We also have every 2 or 3 months a virtual activity that we call M4DT Day, and all the RMOs are invited to participate as listeners or to also send speakers to the RMO based on the new investment that you can do also over there, or the new projects that you can develop in your RMOs. And the members of this group, which is the 14th one, they are also actively participating, I have to say, in most of the international groups such as NCCLI, IMICO, and TC6, and the BIP and digitalization group, together with Sacha Einstein. And all this information, we actually put it together, we upload it in the M4DT webpage, which is hosted under the SENA Mexico NMI. Also, the other main activity that we have as SIM is we participate, same as you, in what we call KICA, which is the Quality Infrastructure Council of the Americas. This is an organization that already has 10 years, and it is composed of all the members of the standardization organization, COPAN, the accreditation body, IAAC for the Americas, and of course SIN. And this year we have a new idea. We also created within KICA 4 ad hoc working groups, 1 for international cooperation, 1 for communication, 1 for data transformation of quality infrastructure also, and one for training. And throughout the year, we prepare usually among the three organizations a calendar of activities, and we try to go on with all of them to involve people and invite people of all the groups, and also authorities within our countries to know about quality infrastructure. Just yesterday, we had a workshop in terms of gender equity from the, I would say, from the talk to the actual action. And also, we are working together. This is a $2.5 million project in terms of circular economy. We're working in all the quality infrastructure needs that we have for circular economy in different industrial areas. We this year and next year we will be providing, I would say, solutions for some 8 different quality infrastructure projects that we, or problems that we have found in some countries related to water quality in industry, related to of course the plastic issues we have throughout the world, also some food issues we have around the continent. We are working in standardization, accreditation, and metrology services to try to solve these problems that we have found. With this, I would like to also close the presentation, just giving you my contacts. Javier Arias, SID Vice President, but mainly Sename Panama NMI Director. If you have any questions, more than welcome to answer it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Javier Arias Reo, for that presentation. Would like to appreciate you for taking time. I know the time difference in the same region and here it's quite, should be early there at night, but I'd like to thank you for your time and for sharing your presentation. At this moment, we are closing the part for RMOs. Do you have any questions? We invite questions for SIM, presentation from SIM, and the presentation from COMET. Any question, any clarifications? Okay, seeing there are none, obviously the presentation was, oh yeah, Mr. President, please.
Yes, there's one here.
Yes, please, proceed.
I think mine is to appreciate the presentations from the Far East. I know it's late in the evening and you've been waiting for us. So thank you very much for that. I just wondered if you can tell us how you fund your programs, because I've seen the projects you have. They are actually capital intensive. They require a lot of funding. So maybe if you can share, especially SIM and also APMB. Thank you.
I don't know if
Let's start with SIM and then COMET to come in. SIM, please.
Okay, Mr. Rhodes, it's nice to see you again. Pleasure to see you once again. In the case of SIM, we have I would say, 3 different types of funding. First is NMIs directly. Each NMI have their own needs, and based on those needs, we try to make bilateral or multilateral projects or agreements, and we work together among NMIs. A second activity or second way of funding the project is through the SIM funds. As SIM, we all the NMIs and DIs, we have a yearly fee. This yearly fee is used mainly for 2 purposes. One is to cover the secretariat expenses, and the second is to cover all the SIM activities. These SIM activities mainly are on training and capacitation and some of the meetings, in necessary meetings that we have. So this is the second way. And the third way, of course, is through international cooperation. We, same as you, I guess, we are constantly trying to work together to present projects to World Bank, to IDB, to the PTB European community, to also the North American community, the different international banking or funding organizations that they have different, I would say, different projects for specific areas that they need to develop. So we offer ourselves as a potential way to help them solve those needs together with other stakeholders or actors. So those will be the three basically ways that we use to fund our activities.
Thank you so much. Xavier, ask comment to comment as well. Thank you so much for that submission.
Yeah, thank you for this question. It's really important question, and I just would like to provide a short information of COMET situation. In our regional organization, we haven't the budget, so I mean that we also haven't participation fee from our institutes, and that's really big problem to provide money for some research, for joint research between our cooperation, between our institutes. And what I'd like to say that we provide the idea. I mean, our president, he is also, that time he was a director of Uzbek National Institute of Metrology. Now he worked in agency, but he tried to find the money from some local or national projects. For example, now we have initiative to create one humidity standard, and Uzbekistan by himself cannot to create it because we haven't some experience in this area, but we involve our partners from the COMET, and we try to find the money in our local project. Example, it was we have Uzbek agency for innovation and research areas. So we provide all documents, and they elected our project because it will be in the final, it will provide some impact to our economy. And our partners from COMET members, we put this information about them like foreign experts. And this just one example how we try to provide the funding of our project. But now we already create a special group in COMET that our next 5 years we have to create a budget for research areas. We think about it, and I hope the situation will change, and we will try to make a lot of new project in future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much for those responses. Any other questions or interventions? Okay, so there's none. Dear delegates, would like to appreciate our speakers, starting with the COMET, the president of COMET, and the secretariat, Marat, and also the vice president of SIM for finding time to be with us this afternoon and make these presentations. We've taken note of your comments from COMET, the invitation, and we like to reiterate also to congratulate you on your 35 years of anniversary, and also SIM, the various activities, inspiring activities you've undertaken in your region, which are cutting across North and South America. We'd like to congratulate you and thank you for sharing with us your experiences. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Dear delegates, we're moving now to the SRMOs. We'll give each SRMO 5 minutes highlights of the activities. So we're starting with SEMA MAGMET, ECOMET, EAMET, MAGMET, NUMET, SADCMEL, and then SADCMET. 5 minutes, just by exception. Let's start with MAGMET. Let's welcome MAGMET, please. Let's clap for him. Okay, so Aristide will represent MAGMET. Please proceed.
Good afternoon, everyone. Apologize for my English. I'm from French speaking. Without a translation, my presentation is in French, but I will try to talk in English. Ceux qui sont en français vont lire ce qui est écrit. Je vais essayer de parler en anglais pour le reste de la communauté anglophone. AFRIMATE have 6 countries. We based in Central Africa, Cameroon, Congo-Brazzaville, because we have Congo-Kinshasa or Congo-Brazzaville, Gabon, Guinea Equatorial, Republic Centrafricaine, and Chad. This is last SRMO was created in AFRIMETE by PTB support since 2011. The board committee is, I am Mr. Arsinga Bengede from Cameroon. I am the president, I'm the chair. The president of charge for industry for scientific metrology. We are going to up because the last people were not working again in their agency. The president of legal metrology, Mr. Romari from South Africa, or secretariat, Fiat Commission of SEMBAC. So in Central Africa, we have one commission who regroup these 6 countries, and we are under this commission, under the Commission of Industrialization of Sustainable. The list of members in our SRMO. When you see here, it's NMI, we don't have any person because we don't have any NMI now. It's in our region. We just have the NLMB for the legal metrology in all countries. This is the name, the person of charge, or for which ministry. In Cameroon, we have 2 ministries: Ministry for Industrialization or Ministry for Commerce of Trade. And in Gabon, we have in Congo, we have Standard Agency à CONOC, Agent Congolais d'Innovation de la Qualité. In Gabon, we have the same agencies à Ghana, Agent Gabonais de la Norme et de la Qualité. For Guinea Equatorial, I don't have any information now because we have many problems with Guinea Equatorial in our region to share the information, to know who is in charge for measurement system. Since we had the meeting, Guinea Equatorial, they come in one meeting, another meeting, we don't see any person. And from Chad, it's the Ministry of Commerce of Trade of Industry. This is a list of the persons for every country on charge for the measurement system. For the structure, SRMO have the principal member, if comes from the country, industrial certificate, legal metrology, ordinary member, associate member, or self member, and we have the board committee and the technical committee. So what in Cameroon now, the Ministry of Industry, of Technology Development started to build the National Metrology Lab. This project is piloted by the National Agency for Standards and all. You see there, the picture for this building is already built, it's finished. This is a national lab. This is a picture for this national lab. You have the inside, a picture. This is information about the land. For the land, the building, or the annex. We have administration department with 4 office, 1 room for the meeting, 2 rooms for the training, room for it, the toilet. On the technical party, we have 8 laboratories for 6 units. Laboratory of temperature, electricity, dimension, big volume, mass, big mass, small volume, and pressure. We start with this laboratory for this unit, and we have another space for storage, manutention, reception, maintenance, office, toilet, a parking, and another accessory for the working to this laboratory. Now, in this laboratory, we are looking, the work is concerned AC and electricity. Will be finished in the next November. And we started about the equipment. We started with 3 labs: mass, temperature, and small volume. This is the equipment we have in this lab. Comparator mass from 25 kg. Comparator for 100 kg. This was a big activity in the Cameroon for trade, industry, agriculture to support. Small mass laboratory. This automatic comparator mass for the clinical lab analytic research. You had these 3 mass comparator in this lab to calibrate the mass and the standard mass from too small to the big, or the class from E to M, for E1 to M. Yeah, this all mass corresponded to the mass comparator will be in this lab. The next lab is the temperature. This is a list for equipment. We will equip this lab. You say the name, intercomparison, mini 3 points. We are with a fluke manufacturing equipment about to order this equipment for the lab. So this is a list for the equipment we put in this lab. And the same for the small volume, for pipette and glass. So this 3 laboratory is already tender go out. It's not the project. Not the project, what we are looking to do. That we are already sent the tender to buy this equipment to put in the laboratory, because we are looking to start working the laboratory on the first quarter of the next year. So, also for in the next year, we are looking to continue to equip our lab. Now we are preparing the list for the equipment to prepare the budget for the next year, for the pressure lab, electricity lab, big volume, and dimension. I know what I say because I'm the person who work in this project. I'm a consultant for my Cameroon for this project. When I come back next year, I need to give this equipment, use a price to prepare the budget for next year, because the conference for the budget started last month, and we need to end of August to give what we need to invest next year. So this lab will come to complete the pillar of quality manufacturing in Cameroon. will be assured the traceability to the SI, to disseminate the standard in the country, to participate in the international work, TC, BIPM, and the committee technique, or the technical committee technique. The Cameroon authority takes the decision to put this lab on working on this year because it's time for this country to start to attend all international work about the measurement system. This project is financed, funded by government of Cameroon. In Cameroon too, we have the Ministry of Trade, the lab metrology, the legal metrology lab. Its base is a building existing many times ago, and they have 2 units, mass of volume, volumetry for the hydrocarbon control station service. This is a equipment we already have inside, mass comparator for 41,000 gram, please, and the other one for 5,100 gram. This is offered by PTB, was a project we has in this region with PTB since 2000 and yes, I'm going, okay, excuse me. And they have another equipment mass. Okay, let me go quickly. This is a legal metrology, volume, dimension, electricity. We permit to the Ministry of Commerce to give off legal measurement system in the country. In Congo, Brazzaville, we have a legal metrology lab. We play with Akonok. This is this lab, the picture. There's a one comparator inside in this lab in Congo. The standard mass, the training course about project funded by National Agency Standard of Congo. And the Gabon are looking now to have the same laboratory. I'm sure that in next year we will be here to present you what the Gabon standard starts with the national laboratories in this country. For the reglementation, all the countries in East Africa have the policies for the reglementation to control what is legal metrology. So they don't have the big lab, but many private laboratories have equipment with the traceability to the SI by the lab in Europe. And the public to this equipment to control the metrology legal in the country. For the last, cooperation with university is important. Now, many modules as already training give in the university, but so in the National Polytechnic Academic in Cameroon, Douala, we create 2 months ago the new training. This is a physical engineering and biology technology for the engineer training. The program we include in this training came from this document, Metrology Fundamental Principle. This is the document we write by many persons in the world who has the knowledge in the measurement system, the metrology, and the support by PTB, German cooperation. You don't invite anything, you just to put what the lesson include in this document to put in the this new training in our country. So you have third party, fundamental principle for the measurement system, data analysis of practical metrology. With a sharp on the so sharp, we take just a content to put in this program. This program came benefits from the one activity we did since 2019, because 2019 we trained the teacher from the university by the program support by PTB in Douala. The process came from our region in Douala to receive the training about what is a measurement system. This activity was to know what kind of measurement system we need to learn in the university. This is a picture for this training. The professor came from Tunisia, Mr. Fordudi. This is my last. We need to receive the list of a lab accredited in Africa, because many private laboratories in our region need to go to Europe to calibrate your equipment, or we have many problems, many for the visa, the time to take to do it, or if we share information with a lab accredited in Africa, it will be very easy to do this. This could be one day. Thank you very much. I take more time to do my presentation. Apology for my English, but I try to understand what I said. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Aristide. You are communicating, so we got a message very clear. Thank you so much for the presentation on behalf of Magnet. And congratulations for that wonderful laboratories you are setting up in Cameroon. The next to present is ECOMET. Please, we are giving you exactly 5 minutes. Excess is 1 minute. 1 minute, please. Just stick in there by exception. Okay? So the chairperson of ECOMET, which is Nigeria, is going to present on behalf of the chairperson. Over to you, sir. Thank you, sir. Welcome. Welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Before I do my presentation, last year in Ghana, ECOMET was recognized as the most active SRMO in Africa. Please, can we put a round of applause for our leader? My name is Dr. Samuel Ayuba. I'm the Vice President of the ECOMET. I'm presenting on behalf of my president, Gabriel Hisu, who is seated right here. Thank you so much for the privilege. ECOMET was established in 2017, and its composition is 15 countries, which are listed there. Since you have given me 5 minutes, I will not take time to go through them. But out of these 15 countries, for political reason, we have 3 countries that are not participating right now physically, but Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. I'm sure you are aware of the happenings in that country. But ECOMET has decided that even though there are political issues, we are going to still work together with them. Political issues will be resolved now or tomorrow. So they are still part of us. The current executive of the ECOMET composition is president, which is Mr. Gabriel Hisu, and then myself, that was elected during our 11th General Assembly that took place in Senegal in June. I was elected to fill the vacant position of the vice president, and our permanent secretary, who represents the ECOWAS in the committee, is Mr. Abreu Lopez. There are two pictures here. One is the president, the vice president, and our executive secretary of the ECOWAS at the left side, and then the representation of ECOWAS in the AFRIMETE 19th General Assembly. You can see us well decorated here. These are just few of us. The goals of ECOMET are stated. I will not want to take time to go through them, but it's basically to develop our region when it comes to metrology. And ECOMET runs 5 technical committees. The first is TC1, which is communication. The second is TC2, which has to do with the legal metrology, and they have 2 working groups, which is in packaging products and measuring instruments control. The TC3 is in mass and related quantity, and they have 3 working groups in mass, volume, and pressure. And the 4th working group is in thermometry technical committee. They also have 2 working groups, temperature and humidity. And then the last one is the quality system, which we operate in ECOWAS. So we follow the trend of the AFRIMETE, and I'm sure as we develop more, we're going to have some more technical committees in the ECOMET. Now, main activities that we have run over the years is adoption of several calibration guides and procedures, so we can harmonize our standards in the region, and we have those in the field of mass, volume, temperature, pressure, electricity, and then procedures for quality checks of prepackaged materials. We also organize interlaboratory comparison within the region in the same field, mass, volume, temperature, pressure. And I want to recognize the PTB and some of our developing partners that have assisted us in funding these programs. We also run trainings on various quality standards like ISO 17025, ISO 17020, ISO 17043, and ISO 13005. These trainings have taken place within the ECOWAS region thanks to our development partners. Then strengthening the capability of both advanced and less advanced laboratory. We try to group the ECOWAS country into advanced and less advanced laboratory so we can encourage the less advanced laboratory to meet up with that. So the advanced laboratory support the less advanced laboratory, and we have one of our countries like Ghana that has been of great assistance to us in the ECOWAS. The activities also continue, like membership of the Continental Metrology Organization, like AFRIMETE. ECOWAS has been a forerunner in this group. I think since the inception of ECOMET, I'm not sure we have missed any AFRIMETE General Assembly. Well, I'm not sure because I joined quickly. I may be wrong. Now, recognizing ECOMET as a sub-regional metrology is one of the great achievements we have, and our chairman is here. I'm sure very soon you will pay a visit to our General Assembly. I'm sure we'll be ready to welcome you. Some regulations also have been approved by ECOMET in the process of, and they are process of being adopted. We try to put regulations that will harmonize most of our activities and reduce the issues of trade issues between the ECOWAS country. And recognition of international system of unit. And I want to also announce that Nigeria, like it was said by Penny, Nigeria just joined the BIPM as associate member. And yesterday, my Director General gave me an express permission and approval to move it to the full permanent members of the BIPM. Now, we have also participation in the AFRIMETE, like I said earlier, when it took place in Ghana last year. There was the one in Kenya, then Egypt, Kenya, Ghana, and currently in Ethiopia. And I'm very sure if Tanzania is not ready to host in 2028, Nigeria is ready to take over that position. We also participate in AFRIMETE Council meetings. My president was there in July. We had certain decisions we are taking on how to give the legal framework for AFRIMETE, registering it as a legal body, and that has really gone to a very good step so far. Registration of laboratories from Benin, Ghana, Nigeria to take part of AFRIMETE intercomparison is ongoing, and I think Nigeria is the next to receive the artifact, hopefully when we go back by next week. Now, running the AFRIMETE is not without challenges or difficulties, which I will just highlight some of them. Connecting working or reference standards of certain metrology quantities, secondary standards, is actually problematic. What I mean here is drawing traceability is really a challenge, and is one of the areas we are looking at how to come upon, how to overcome. Interlaboratory comparisons aren't organized within the necessary time. It takes time, and is limiting the number of laboratories that can get accreditation. There are also lack of adequate staff, not enough staff personnel in the field of metrology. And I am happy that we are seeing some of our SRMOs that have schools of metrology. It's good. We also partner with them to liaise developing capacity in the field of metrology. So I want to conclude by throwing these prayers to our AFRIMETE big brothers: support at least one advanced metrology structure in setting up reference laboratory for priority and quantities. This one advanced laboratory can be of benefit to the other ones within the region, and then raise awareness among the ministries responsible for metrology in the member states, the National Metrology Institute, particularly in the areas of custom enlightenment for movement of artifacts from one country to another. When you come under the umbrella of AFRIMETE, I'm sure our political elites will listen to you and give such directive to the custom. Then organizing of ILCs in the region regularly, at least once in every 2 years, is not too bad, but we need regular ILCs so that we'll be able to participate and then be able to present our CMCs, and then link technical committees of AFRIMETE with that of the AFRIMETE. I think it's very important. When the chairman, the TC chair of the MAS was talking, there is gap between AFRIMETE and the SRMOs. So we need to link and bridge that gap. Then support member countries' participation in intercomparisons organized by the AFRIMETE. There are some countries, they will want to participate, but the funding is not there. So we need such support from the AFRIMETE. And then identify and assist labs in getting accreditation. Accreditation is very expensive. We just got accreditation. I got the message while I was here. 3 laboratories, mass, volume, and temperature, and it was very, very expensive. I know what it's going to be beyond some of the countries. So we need assistance in that respect. Thank you for listening. God bless you.
Thank you so much, AFRIMETE, for that presentation, and congratulations for the activities done during the period. Moving immediately to EAMET. I don't know if EAMET are present here. Okay, excellent. Let's clap for EAMET, please.
So do you have the small one? This doesn't have the small. Good afternoon. My name is Ramadan Mfaume. I'm Senior Standard Officer from East Africa Community Secretariat. So on behalf of the Chairperson of the EAMET, Mr. Dominic Ondoro, who is not here, but he's online. So I'll do the presentation report for the EAMET. EAMET, this is a East Africa Technical Subcommittee on Metrology. This is the technical subcommittee of the East Africa Standard Committee. In EAC, we have a sector committee on standards. This sector committee is responsible for coordinating all the quality infrastructure activities within the region. So this East Africa Standard Committee is developed the technical subcommittee to handle all the QA pillars in the region. So the EAMET is one of the technical subcommittee that handling metrology. So the objective of the EAMET is just to coordinate all the metrology activity within the region that include both legal and the legal, scientific, and the industrial. So the member of the EAMET, the EAC, we have 8 partner states who are the member of the EAMET. We have Burundi, BBN, DRC, OCC, Kenya, KEPSI, also Kenya Weights and Measure, Rwanda, RSB, Somalia, SOPS, South Sudan, National Bureau of Standard, Tanzania, TBS, and Tanzania Weights and Measure, and Uganda, UNBS. So those are the partner state for the EAC, so they are automatically the member of the EAMET. Membership to the international and the regional organization. Among the 8 partner states, 3 of them are the member of the BIPM. One is a full member and one is the associate member. Kenya is a full member and Tanzania is an associate member. And OIML, 3 of them are members. 4 of them are member, and also AFRIMETE, automatically all 8 members are the member of AFRIMETE. So this is the EAC metrology structure. As I say, we have the East Africa Standard Committee. This is the policy committee, the statutory committee. This committee is provided for in the EAC SQMT Act. So this East Africa Standard Committee is main objective is to coordinate all the QI activity within the region. So it has the technical subcommittee. Then we have the office here, EAC SQMT department, where I'm working as a standard officer on metrology. So this department, its main objective is to coordinate all the other technical subcommittee. So this department, its main objective is to provide logistical and administrative support to the East Africa Standard Committee together with its technical subcommittee. So the technical subcommittee on metrology, which is EAMET, it has working group now. We have a scientific and industrial metrology working group. We have legal metrology working group, chemical metrology working group, and recently we have established EAMET ILC working group because of the issue that we normally have on the ILC. So we decided to establish the working group on ILC. So on the key activities that as EAMET we have conducted in the last since the last GA. First of all, we conducted the 29th EAMET meeting. This meeting was convened in Kigali, hosted by the Rwanda Standard Body. So the meeting developed the EAMET work plan for the year 2026-2027. And also in this meeting, the EAMET appointed new leaders of the EAMET, where Mr. Dominic Ondoro from Kenya Bureau of Standards was appointed as a chairperson, and Mr. Josephine from Uganda National Bureau of Standards was appointed as a secretary. Another activities, EAMET participated in the 28th East Africa Standard Committee meeting. As I said, this is our sector committee meeting. This is our policy meeting where the EAMET now report. And this meeting is composed of the chief executive officers of the National Bureau of Standards, National Metrology Institution, and the National Legal Metrology Institution. So those are the ones who are members of this. So EAMET is reporting to this, and all the EAMET program are approved by this committee, which is composed of the CEOs, chief executive officers of the National Standard Body, National Metrology Institution, and the National Legal Metrology Institution. So this was the May this year in Arusha. Another activity that as EAMET we conducted, we convened a second regional metrology conference, which was held in Mombasa, Kenya, and this was hosted by the Kenya Bureau of Standards. The theme of the conference was mainstreaming metrology in health, manufacturing, trade to enhance consumer protection. The conference was attended by 120 stakeholders from the EAC, also from outside EAC. I remember we have also the participant from China. We are planning to have the third EAC Regional Metrology Conference to be held in November 2027, which will be hosted by Uganda National Bureau of Standards. Another activity that we conducted is the EAC World Metrology Day webinar. You know, each country, they normally celebrate the Metrology Day, but from this year, we decided as a region, we'll be having the webinar, where it will be as a part of the awareness creation in metrology. So this year we have the webinar, although we didn't get the enough audience as we expected, but it's our expectation that from next year we will have. And we were privileged that the chair of the AFRIMETE, Dr. Rotich, made a keynote speech in this webinar. Another activity that we conducted is capacity building. We conducted a second hands-on training on the preparation and development of CRM. This training was done in Kigali, Rwanda Standard Board, and it was delivered by the Dr. Angelique Botha from NIMISA. As EAC, we observed that we have the issue in the CRM production, so we developed a roadmap on building capacity within the EAC region on the CRM. ITC and the PTB, they've supported us in the implementation of this on this roadmap, and this training was part of the implementation of that roadmap. So the purpose is to build capacity of our chemical metrology expert within the region. So at the end of the day, as a region, we should be able to develop our own CRMs. Also, we conducted a capacity building on the repair and maintenance of laboratory testing equipment. Yes, we also have the problem as a region on the maintenance and the repair of the testing equipment. So we developed a working group which will be handling this, and we get support from the ITC and the PTB. They've conducted number of training to our laboratory experts on the various equipment. We also, by support of the ITC, we developed a directory of all the company who are doing repair and maintenance of the equipment. So any of our partner states, when they have issue, they just go to that directory and they get the names of the company who can assist them in repairing the equipment. Also, we have number of training on the proficient testing, which were supported by the PTB and the ITC. On the ILC program and the proficient testing, as I said, as a region, we, apart from the AFRIMETE ILC, which are conducted by AFRIMETE, we also have our ILC program. The main objective of this is to support those less developed country who they cannot participate in the AFRIMETE ILC. So we have our ILC program where other countries are participating also to build the capacity of our metrologists within the region. Our partner states, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, and the DRC, they're actively participating in the ILC, which are conducted by the AFRIMETE. Also in the EAC, we have EAC PT schemes. We have 4 countries, that is Kenya, TBS, UNBS, RSB, and the BBN. They are PT scheme providers. They are providing scheme within our region. And last year, in July 2025, our PT provider from Kenya, KEBS, get accreditation. So its scheme get accreditation, and as per our roadmap, December this year, we're expecting that Tanzania, TBS, and UNBS, they will also be accredited, because UNBS, they have already been assessed, and Tanzania, they're in the process. So we are expecting that by the end of this year, Tanzania and Kenya, TBS and UNBS, they will also be accredited. We also, with the support from PTB, we've developed a PT scheme website. We are just waiting for it to be rolled out. But currently, if any country from Africa want to participate in our PT scheme, you can just go to the website of our partner state. You can go to the website of KEBS, TBS, UNBS. You can find those PT which we are conducting in in EAC. And this in the accreditation and the CMC publication status for our country. Burundi, they have no accreditation. DRC, they've accredited 4 of their laboratories. They have not published any CMC. Kenya, they have 13 laboratory accredited and they published 44 CMC. Rwanda, they have 5 laboratory published, laboratory accredited. They've not published any CMC. Somalia, these are the new partners which just joined the EAC. And South Sudan, they are still developing their metrology capacity. Tanzania, they have 9 laboratories which are accredited, and they've published 18 CMC. The main challenge that we are facing as a region in the part of the rigometrology, insufficient capability to cope with the pace of emerging technologies. Example, the chargers, electrical vehicle chargers, and the batteries. So we have the challenge on the smart meters. We don't have that capacity for our experts. Also, inadequate funding for the metrology activities. As we all know that awareness of metrology to our policymakers is still very low. So getting the fund to support the metrology activity is an issue. Also the issue of ILC artifacts, which has been almost everyone who's coming in here is talking about that. Also as a EAC, we have that issue. Our artifacts, which are used for ILC, and even for the standard when they are going for the traceability, they're also facing some issues at the border. Currently, as a EAC, as a secretariat, we are now initiating the process of engaging with our colleague at custom, so that to ensure that we are sensitize them and they understand what it is. But I like the idea which was given that it's better for this issue to start at the national level. So when we come at the regional level, they've already understand. Now the request to AFRIMETE and partners, support in capacity building for the rigometrology personnel in new emerging technology, as I said. Also support in awareness. I'm glad that as AFRIMETE, you have established the working group for the awareness. So as a EAC also, as a EMET, we will make sure that we make use of that working group so that it can help us also. Support capacity building in the preparation and production of CRMs. Currently, this is our main focus, so really appreciate if you can get support from AFRIMETE or from any other partners. We have our roadmap for building capacity in CRMs. We have the number of activities there, so we'll be very much glad if we get partners or AFRIMETE will go through our roadmap and pick any of our activity which are in the roadmap to support us. Also, support capacity building in ILC. We would like to see many of our partner states are participating in the supplementary comparison, even the key comparison. So we'd like also to conduct number of training to help our partner states. Work plan, what we're planning for the next coming year, to establish a EAC metrology professional body, to undertake awareness training on the procedure for verification of calibration road tanker, to develop and implement EAC peer assessment program for the rigometrology. This is just to enhance mutual recognition among the rigometrology facilities within the region. Because currently we are doing peer assessment for our conformity assessment bodies, for like TBS, UNBS, they are doing their peer assessment. So we want also to do it to the rigometrology facilities. Also, we are planning to take awareness training on EAC harmonized procedure for designation and testing calibration. A colleague from Nigeria here, he was saying that accreditation is very expensive. Yes, us also in EMET, we observe that. So in order to solve that, we have a procedure for the designation of testing in a calibration lab. So even if the lab is not accredited, it can be designated, it can be recognized and conduct the testing or calibration process. So this procedure aim to help both the accreditation and the laboratory which are not accredited. We have this procedure since 2013. We've just revised it last year, so we are planning to do the awareness on the new revised one. Also, in implementation of chemical metrology, I've already said. So this one is the leadership of AFRIMETE, for EMET. That our chair is Dominic Ondoro, with the chair of the EMET, also the chair of scientific and Industrial. For the legal metrology, we have John Wamwana, and I put my contact there. As I said, for me, I'm on the department as a liaison officer. I'm the one who coordinating. For instance, today I've attended this meeting here. We have most of our partners said they are not here. So as a coordinator, I have to communicate with them and inform them everything which is going on here at AFRIMETE. So that mark the end of my presentation. Asante sana.
Thank you so much for that presentation, Iamet. Very sharp and on point, and well done. Looking at the activities, I think it's the same picture, Mr. President. All the SRMOs, we've seen a lot of increase in terms of activities. Well done. So as we move to the next SRMO, just want to remind us, those who have not signed an attendance sheet, please do so. And those who have not indicated where they need to go tomorrow for the tour visit, which option, please indicate. The paper is still going around. Just lift your hand and the gentleman will come over to you so that you pick that. The gentleman will come now, the magnet leadership to submit a report. I don't know if they're presenting remotely or they are present here. Okay, we move on to NUMET. Is NUMET present here?
Online.
Perfect. Okay, so NUMET, thank you so much for joining us online, and proceed to introduce yourself and proceed. You may share your presentation so that we can follow clearly from here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Do you see the presentation at first? I've shared the screen.
We can see it.
Okay.
You can proceed, Dr. Noah. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. I'll try to be fast to not exceed the 5 minutes you gave me. First of all, about the overview of NUMET. Well, actually, we are about 5 members. Egypt, Ethiopia, Sudan, Libya, Ghana, Nigeria, which the countries which started this SRMO, then joined later on Liberia, Sierra Leone, and finally Somalia. Of course, recently, some of these countries joined another SRMOs due to economic reasons or something like that, but still keeping their membership at the beginning, which is in NUMET. About meetings, final meetings, we have not for all the members. Only 3 members have met last year during the meeting of AFRIMETE in Arab Saudi, and it was about speaking about the development of their laboratories and metrology capabilities and so on. And about the capacity building and training, here in NUMET, actually, we are not working together, all of us, in arranged matter, but we are working in maybe a bilateral or sometimes in small groups or sometimes in regions. Most of these countries lying under COMESA, so there is a common project which is under COMESA, so sometimes we are working together or meeting through these projects. Anyway, about the capacity building, we have different training courses on the national level for technical and quality, and internationally, recently, most of the countries joined the BIPM capacity building and knowledge transfer program, online technical exchange on quality system. The engagement with universities and other academic institutions and regulatory harmonization. We have annual training program for undergraduates of students from Faculty of Science and Faculty of Engineering in Egypt. Also, these trainings is repeatedly in some of the countries of new METs like Sudan and I think maybe in Ghana. NMI staff participate partially in teaching some courses in universities. We participate in joint projects with scientific entities like scientific research or university or maybe atomic energy agency or something like that. So scientifically, there is activity in this region. About measurement comparisons and technical work, we have participation in some comparisons, two in mass and two in length, the last year, in addition to bilateral comparison for special activity like with the IAEA for ionizing radiation. About legal metrology and regulatory harmonization, there is efforts is going on in regulatory harmonization through COMESA, as I told you earlier, and some countries gain assistance in drafting law for metrology, like Sudan, and also the legal metrology body in Egypt gains technical assistance from COMESA project, and also I think Ghana and Nigeria. About infrastructure projects, most of the countries are improving and developing their infrastructure, like in Egypt and Sudan, Ethiopia, Nigeria, Ghana, Libya. Although some challenges and conflicts and fluctuating economic situations cause delay in the process. But actually, there is program for development and improvement of the infrastructure. About the project, give you example of one of the projects running is a BTP bilateral project with Egypt to strengthen metrology in Egypt to improve competitiveness and export potential in the field of processed food. Actually, it's chemistry, chemical metrology, and CRMs and so on. Also, there is a COMESA project supported the infrastructure for legal metrology. For scientific research, there is an elevated number of scientific publication, and ongoing progress in PhD for staff members. Regarding CMC's numbers and examples, NUMIT has published 123 CMCs on the KCDB from Egypt and Ethiopia. Ghana is working to publish their first CMCs soon after they finish their quality system approval. About quality system implementation, most of the countries have quality system implemented, but only 2 countries has approval from the TCQS of AFRIMETS, which are Egypt and Ethiopia. Ghana has in the way because they have applied for initial presentation this year, and their system is under evaluation, and they are soon completing this process. About contribution of the SRMO, actually in metrology awareness, all members are utilizing the World Metrology Day to raise awareness of metrology in country to stakeholders, which usually is engaged in the events, especially the quality infrastructure pillars. Regarding assistance to country with no or weak NMIs to establish basic measurement standards and legal metrology services that take place through technical support projects on national level and regional level as well, or by bilateral cooperation between NMIs deals. Uh, Supporting the accreditation body, yes, NMI staff supporting the accreditation body as they are working with them in different committees, scientific committees, technical committees, and they are being utilized as technical assessors in all activities of the accreditation body. Many challenges and lessons learned through the sub-region in NUMET actually is the instability, conflicts, and the economic fluctuations. These are the most effective challenges which affect our meetings. Usually we have annual meeting. Recently it have been stopped because of course the surrounding fluctuation and instability. From the lessons learned or from experience, we found that training, which is hand-on work, is the most effective tool to capacity building, because we have through NUMET have tried a capacity building program for NUMET members. It needs to have work for 1 month on the lab, hand-on work. And we found that is very effective, more than any training course. About requests of AFRIMETS from AFRIMETS and partners, well, actually, maybe technical support would be of great importance for NMIs under establishment to get technical support when it is available. Also, about funding projects, it would be great to have funding to attend the meeting and to participate in projects for intercomparisons and maybe scientific project in future when AFRIMETS progress more. Coordination and advocacy also appreciated to have a support and coordination maybe in regulation for legal metrology. About our work plans in 2027, we are not intending to start anything. We just would like to complete our ongoing programs, either in comparisons or increasing CMCs on the KCDB or supporting NMI under establishment. That's all about the leadership. It is remain as it is until the following meeting and the re-election of the chairs and the vice chairs. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Noah, for that presentation. They're moving now to the SADC region, SADC MEL, and then SADC MET.
I can't hear you. Sorry.
Okay. Professor, you can't hear me? Okay. You able to hear me now? Professor Noah, you able to hear me now?
Yes, now the verse is on.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your presentation. Please just stick around. There may be some questions. We are now about to conclude in case there are any clarifications. Thank you so much for your clear presentation. I invite now the RC from the SADC MEL, Yako, to make a presentation. Yeah, it's there. Thanks. Okay.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the graveyard shift. I'll try to be 5 minutes, but I guarantee you I talk a lot. So set your clocks for 30 minutes plus. Just a little bit feedback from SADC MEL. SADC MEL has been established under the SADC Trade Protocol. We're part of the SADC TBT Corporation structure, and there's other structures like SADC MET, who's responsible for scientific metrology. We all report to the TBT expert group, which then guides us in the development of our work under SADC. There are 16 member states, 4 associate member states, which I will show you. Just want to say to you, our current chairperson is the United Republic of Tanzania, and the vice chairperson is Eswatini. So if you look at SADC MEL, this is where you will find it on the southernmost point of Africa. The 16 member countries we are all proud of, and we've been going for, we are the oldest sub-regional metrology organization on the continent. What is our mission and objectives? Facilitate equivalence of national metrology regulations for our member states. For that reason, I can say we have fully implemented pre-package requirements that is fully harmonized in all of these countries. We fully aligned with OML legislation as far as possible, and for the legislation where we differ from OML, we have developed 5 set of recommendations for instruments that is not covered actually under OML for our region. So we actively develop and maintain confidence in legal metrology activities in the region to attain and achieve equivalence in our legal metrology activities. We had our recent SADC MEL committee meeting on the 24th of March. That was held in South Africa in Johannesburg. We were very lucky to have a keynote speaker, Dr. Pamela Dagg of the National Standards Authority in Ireland, that gave us a very informative and insightful presentation on the OML round table and how it can be utilized to also assist all of the regional metrology organizations in achieving harmonization. We also welcomed a new member to our committee, Mr. Kumar Kalicharan from Mauritius, because one of our previous members, Mrs. Umavasi, retired. During the meeting, we appointed Tanzania as the new chair, also as Eswatini as the vice chair, and Zambia as our ordinary member on the EXCO from SADC MEL. We also reappointed and reaffirmed the countries responsible for the various technical groups. We have 4 technical groups that deals with the sale of goods, instruments, codes of procedure, and training. And we also agreed going forward and aligning with the development of our strategy for the next 5 years, we resolved our training needs and priorities as indicated. We were also very glad to host OML D1 workshop in Johannesburg, South Africa. All of the heads of national measuring institutes and legal metrology authorities from 15 member states attended. We are very glad to our sponsors, the PTB, that assisted us in this endeavor. And it, as I indicated, it covered all of the requirements of OML D1. This was also facilitated by the OML and BIPM, which we are very thankful for. and we had Mr. Chingis Kuyangbayev from the BIPM and Ian Dummel from the OML that also greatly assisted us in understanding the requirements. I must just say, yesterday I did receive one of the country's evaluation of their metrology law, which gives me good feeling in the heart that we have at least achieved what we set out in doing, and that is to ensure that all our legislation is harmonized to OML D1. Challenges, I'm not going to ponder, you can see it on the board. I think it's to ensure that we have a proper legislation base. Of concern is always human resources, to ensure that we have trained, competent personnel and how to sustain these human resources. Equipment, you all know that all of our budgets are affected by rising cost, and that cost of equipment and calibration and maintenance is affecting, of course, all of the development in that arena. And again, awareness. Going forward, what are we looking forward to? Development in this couple of months ahead of our strategy for the next 5 years. Sorry for the error there, it must be 2026-31, and a couple of training activities that we've also envisaged to do. So there is quite a program for us to carry out. So, Chair, that is a brief feedback on what we have done in SADC-MEL. Sorry, I couldn't stick to the 5 minutes, but
thank you so much, Yako, for that insightful presentation and activities done in the SADC region. So inviting the SADC-MET, to be presented by Mr. Hamtunda on behalf of the chairperson. Please beat the record Yako set. Yako said 5 minutes. We can do 3 minutes. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. As you are aware, that SADC-MET is over 30 years in existence, and the representation of Africa was being done by SADC-MET before AFRIMETS. I thought you should remember that. Yes. Thank you. So I will be brief. I'm told the reports have been circulated. I will not go through the background. Okay. Yeah. Where's my point? Thank you very much. SADC-MET is one of the TBT structure, as already alluded to when the SADC-MEL regional coordinator was talking about. It has 16 member states, and we have got 5 associates, and of course we admit other regions that are interested in metrology. We normally have a General Assembly every year, which we held last year. The structure for SADCMET, we have got the General Assembly, we have got the associates, SADCMET executive. We also have the 5 TCs, and I'll go through the 5 TCs. The first is in the hierarchy, we have got Chair Botswana, Vice Chair Malawi, who are not here, and immediate past chair is Tanzania. Then we have got the Secretariat in South Africa, and the Botswana chairs TC1, Lesotho TC2, DRC TC3, Namibia TC4, and Mozambique TC5. So the key activities undertaken, we had our GA on 26th March, and we had 48 delegates that attended the GA, that included the members, the associates, and the other people that were supporting us, like the cooperating partners. And we had 3 that attended online. We had actually full house. During the GA, we looked at our progress report on the 5-year strategic plan, the annual report, the TC reports, the country reports, and AFRIMET sustainability project. And also, we also looked at the PTB project report, because PTB is supporting us in so many areas. So the key activities that we undertook, we had the IOCs that were undertaken by the 7 associates of the CGTP. We also noted that the IOC plan that was sponsored by the PTB to come up with that plan will now take off, and it's part of our 5-year strategic plan. Coming to the IOC plan, I will not go through, but that is the progress that has been done. I will just go to the last one, which is new, the chemical. We have already started with the training, and the training has been done. So the other IOCs are in progress. Other activities undertaken, we had the SADCMET, which SADCMET water PT, which runs every year, and more than 100 laboratories are participating. And what is going to happen now is that we'll have the evaluation workshop that will take place in Lesotho, Masero, in November. In terms of CMCs and international recognition, we have got the members of the AFRIMETS, SADCMET, who have the CMCs. In total, we have got 586 CMCs, with South Africa reading with the 524. I must mention that we should have had 589, but 3 CMCs from Botswana have been grayed out. And we must report, at the time of this report, that DRC was in the process of joining the CGPM. I don't know if they've now joined. In terms of awareness, we had support from PTB in training of our pressure metrologists, of which 10 member states participated, and also the procurement of pressure pumps. We also had 12 member states from SADCMET that participated in the training in the OIM D1 workshop, and this workshop was facilitated by the BIPM and OIM, and also the regional coordinator for SADCMET. In terms of World Metrology Day, 14 member states participated. In terms of future plans, that's our future plan. Trying to beat 5 minutes. As you heard, I think during this week that there's a metrology training. We also have another metrology training center that has been established at Nimisa, And these are the training programs that have already been earmarked. So I think in Africa, we are doing very fine. You can choose, you can go to NIMIS, you can go to Tanzania. Then we have got enough resources. In terms of challenges, of course, like any other sub-regional metrology organization, we face financial constraints. We also have the issues of customs, the clearance of IOCs, and we also have some member states that have got infant infrastructure. I end, merci. I'm sure that was 4.5 minutes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mtunda. Thank you so much for the presentations from SRMOs. Yes. I've a special announcement. Immediately yes, there will be a brief but very important AFRIMETE Presidential Award just about now, as the president indicates, but to be very, very brief. But to just finish up the presentations, the permission for the president, will be having the last 3 presentations, very brief, and we'll close the session. We'll invite the president to close the session. There's just 1 minute given to ECOMET for one clarification on the presentation. 30 seconds clarification. Let's clap for ECOMET. Thank you so much, Dr. Abu.
Thank you so much. Mr. President, please permit me to make this clarification. I was to mention this during the presentation, but because of the push of time, I omitted it, and it's very key and important. Now, in ECOMET, PTB had played a very key role in sponsoring and development of ECOMET in the ECOWAS region. For example, in administration, technical, laboratory supplies, and even participation in most of our activity, PTB have been sponsoring this, and we need to note that and recognize it openly here. And during the presentation, most of the SRMOs have been mentioning PTB. So please, I want to plead with the chairman that we rise and give an applause to PTB for the impact of the support we have received in the AFRIMETE, not only in the ECOMET. Thank you so much. So please, can we rise and appreciate PTB for what they are doing in support of metrology, not only in ECOMET, but in the African sub-region. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ayub. Thank you. Thank you so much, PTB, for the support, always the support. Okay. So we'll be inviting Paki, Mr. George Maswai, sorry. Is he present? Is around? Yes, please. Please, we're in the last minutes of the presentation. We'll work to hear the report from Paki, but within 5 minutes. Thank you so much. Let's clap for him, please.
So, good evening. I must say the last presenter should have waited because we are still mentioning PTB. So, welcome to my presentation. I just want to make brief highlights on what is happening at the continental level. Now that all of us are here, we are giving feedback from AFRIMETES. We want to see all these reports, how they then come to issues of do with quality infrastructure. So So I will begin by just looking at the outline of presentation. The Paki Foundation looking at the evidence of performance of the continent in terms of QI. Also looking at the in terms of African diagnostics, maturity curves and all that. Then we look at the policy agenda to address these priorities. So Paki, as we know it, is a framework or a collaboration of 4 institutions, QI institutions within the continent. That is ARSO for standardization, AFRIMETS for metrology, where we are here now, AFRAC for accreditation, and AFSIC for electrotechnical standards. So in terms of governance, we have Economic Development, Tourism, Trade, Industry and Minerals Department of the African Union, where we collaborate and under Paki. And within that department, then we have a special committee, which is called African Quality Policy Council, that oversees the implementation of the African Quality Policy, which we'll see shortly. All this with Paki there, then there was signing of MOU in 2024 for the implementation of activities of the AFCFTA. Looking at the QI system in the continent, in 2014, from the Paki stock taking report, we see that there was a huge shift in terms of the QI system in the continent, where we had from 4 countries to 19 having a robust national quality systems in place. And this is as a result of the following those continental bodies that we have there. ARSO, AFRIMETS, AFRAC, and AFSIC. So looking at the continent, we are aware that there has been some active activities going on. The development of the African Quality Policy and the African Technical Regulatory Framework, ACTREF, which informs on the formation of national quality policies. And these two need to talk to each other. We have member states having their national quality policies, but are they aligned to international best practice? So these activities as being, we know this African quality policy and ACTREF and ACTREF were supported by PTB, and we thank you for this support. And now the alignment is ongoing for member states in the African countries to align the NQPs to AQP. So the policies, therefore, are to assess the readiness of the member states, refill gaps, and also prioritize actions. Most importantly, to implement the activities of AFCFTA. There is also the AU agenda and sustainable development goals, and also the industrial policies. So under these quality QI for sustainable development, it was looking at these quality infrastructure components in the continent under standardization, metrology, accreditation and conformity assessment, and also the quality policy. And the index was taken from 41 member states, and having those indicators and the QI dimensions that I've already stated, and came up with a composite score. All that, of course, the impact is on people, planet, and prosperity. So in metrology, the assessment areas were on as highlighted there. And I think this has been mentioned by AFRIMETE Secretariat, participation in BIP consultative committees, looking at how our countries within Africa are participating in key and supplementary comparisons, number of CMCs within KCDB, also the number of CMCs there, membership to BIPM. Under legal metrology, looking at memberships of IML, OIML certification schemes, systems, number of services offered, involvement in OIML project groups. So as we sit here, all the information that we are gathering goes to building this in the index of each country that are represented here. So from the index, you could see the performance of each QI dimension that was there. So you see there is still need to improve metrology within the continent and also the conformity assessment. So the report's qualitative pattern is clear. Frameworks often run ahead of operational capacity. So we have so many roles and policies in the country, but implementation is low in terms of QI. So all that said is that we cannot advance metrology alone. We cannot advance accreditation alone. We need to combine all these QI dimensions to achieve balance and also be able to fulfill SDGs of United Nations. So in short then, from the index, there are these gaps that the policy needs to address. Issues of laboratory infrastructure, country conformity assessment, sustainable funding. We've mentioned here issues to do with digitalization, SME access, coordination, and governance. So this has already been discussed, the challenges that are there, and where we need to be. Where we need to be. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Paki, for that presentation. Now, ECOMET stole the show. We're supposed to have done this now. Now they are so clever and they took up the show. We're going to invite PTB to come and make a presentation this afternoon. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Martin.
I do not know what I can say because I've never had these kind of standing ovations. It is not me and it's not PDB. It's the German government. Please take that into consideration because the money we are getting as PDB comes from the German government. I have to say that, not by obligation, I do it by myself, because at the end of my presentation, I have to make very clear how we can proceed in future. If I start now to repeat what has been already said, thank you, you will miss your flight, I'm 100% sure. I don't want to do that because, as you see, PDB is very much involved. It's not only in this Pan-African project, which was right now presented. We have bilateral projects and also we do have regional projects. And I would like to draw your attention on the fact I'm not alone here. I'm together with my colleague Guillaume Robardet, who is more responsible. Maybe you can stand up that everybody knows where you are and who you are. He is responsible for the ECOWAS project, and he is here also to see how all the activities of ECOWAS can be more related or be more related to what is done in AFRIMETS and what is done also on the complete Pan-African level. That's the rationale behind his being here. Okay. This is only, I will skip some of my slides because you know it already. I just want to draw your attention. The ongoing phase goes up to October 2027. 9 million all in all, and there are 3 million only for the pharmaceutical component. I'll come to that later on. We started, as you can see, only with a Pan-African project in June 1998, and we spent around 36 million euros already. Oh, 1 second, it does not, okay. I haven't thought about that round of applause, but that's okay. Yes, it is, as has been mentioned, we are supporting AFRIMETS in that respect with a sustainability strategy. And I'm very happy to hear what has happened during the last year. Some of you will remember that I congratulated AFRIMETS for his 18th birthday. Should be adult now, self-sustainable, walking on their own feet and so on. Now I think we are on a better side. Yes, a bit with support from PDB, but I'm happy to hear that at the end of the year, AFRIMETS, and I keep my fingers crossed, AFRIMETS is really in a company and has his bank account, and that would be really a major breakthrough. We also just would like to draw your attention on the fact that ongoing activities with AFRIMETS is a food safety program, the PT scheme, which also have already been mentioned. I want to skip more or less that slide because it has presented right now by George. This is what we are doing. You see the people, some of them are sitting here. We have really what we called embedded experts at the AUC as well as the AFCFTA Secretariat. And I want to draw your attention on the second half of the page, the workshop series we are running in order to have these technical regulations, I say now harmonized, it should be approximated or whatever. We are running these workshops together with ISO, with WTO, and the support of the host countries. We have already two. And honestly, when you think about trade in Africa, when we think about the continental free trade area, the stumbling block are the technical regulations. The policymakers are sometimes aware of it, and if they are aware of it, they have no clue of an idea that when we talk about technical regulations, yes, there are standards behind, there is accreditation behind, and when we have these mutual recognition agreements, and there's a lot of metrology involved as well. To make that clear is not that easy, to be honest, but we are working on that. And these workshops are really some workshops, from my perspective, they are really very, very efficient, because those countries which have participated, when they go home, they have to really write a time framework, how to establish a national technical regulatory framework, and to start to harmonize all the technical regulations in the country with the neighboring countries and others as well. As you can see, we had two workshops. One was English, the other one was in French. The third one will be, as far as I know, in English again. And we have a series of 4 or 5. We have mentioned already the African Quality Policy Action, the policy and the action plan behind. This is what we are really looking for, to implement the Africa Quality Policy. And I'm really happy to tell you that all the other development partners as well, like UNIDO, like ITC, Trademarks also, Trademark Africa, and so on, they are really following this Africa Quality Policy. So what is in here should be implemented in the field of quality infrastructure in Africa. So we do have a framework. By the way, it was not only developed with the support from PDB, there was also AFREX Imbank behind. And AFREX Imbank is also approaching PDB in order to learn more about quality infrastructure, which means as well, if they want to learn more, they are on the way, hopefully, to invest in quality infrastructure more than have done in the past. You know, the institute in Enugu, there are others in the pipeline, as far as I'm informed. It's one in Benin. These regional hubs, what they want to do. We also support, and this is important, the AMA, the African Medicine Agency, based in Rwanda, in Kigali. This is, I think, an offspring of the pandemic, that we had to learn that something has to exist in Africa. A lot of metrology is involved in that field. Last but not least, we are supporting PAKI, as has been mentioned already. And this is now the next step, the Pan-African Quality Infrastructure. The 5th edition will be released in 1 month. I keep my fingers crossed, in 1 month's time. It's close to be ready. And it will be presented to the AUC the African Quality Policy Council first. And this meeting will take place, I hope, at the end of September. Just for you as information, I can't show you now the final maps, but I have just the most important message is the following. Between 2040 and 2026, between 12 years, in the field of scientific and industrial metrology, 25 countries or NMIs have improved. When I say improved, these messages, they're based on key indicators. And if I have counted correctly in scientific metrology, these are 21 indicators. In legal, these are only 19 or something like that. So it is really, these are verifiable results. 19 have been completely unchanged, and 11 have worsened their capabilities. Okay, all in all, it's a good picture, but between us, are we happy with that? There are some political reasons for those ones who have worsened. It's very clear there are some countries who do not invest anymore. They do not participate in international organizations. They do not participate in TCs and so on and so forth. But take that in between 12 years, it's a nice result. But also those ones who are unchanged and those ones who have worsened, look at that. These are quite a lot compared to the 25. Coming to the picture of legal metrology, 21 have improved, 23 unchanged, and 4 worsened. But from 7, we know nothing. And that's a bit of a pity, I have to say. We sorted out in the very last second. I think it was a Comoros and I guess Chad. I did it by myself to ask them really what's going on and to have these indicators. So really, I would really ask AFRIMETS Legal to be more behind these results. Because I think these 7, we do not know. These, by the way, this is the only structure of Paki where we have these white spots. All the others, they have all the information about all 55 African countries. Okay, what do we expect as PDB in the future? You give a round of applause. That was very nice, and I will tell it at home for sure, and my colleague as well. But we all know there will be a further decline in financial resources across all development partners. We have to take that into consideration. One way out might be increase the efficiency in the development cooperation. When I mean something like that, when I say something like that, I mean, for example, more regional approaches. And I was happy to see, I think Thomas presented it, what will be the AFRIMETS plans for training in the future. And I've seen so many regional activities. And I think this is also a way out of this small crisis maybe to increase the efficiency via regional hubs, via regional trainings and more than we did right now. And there should be a strong focus on evidence-based impact. You can imagine when PDB is asking at the ministry, we need more money for this Pan-African project. We were always asked, what have you achieved? And we can tell there is AFRIMETS, there is AFRAC, there is this kind of training and so on. Nice, but tell me the impact. If you think about, your impact, it's not easy to find out directly. I mean, a period of 2 years. I just need one drop of water, sorry. You can think about in between. Sorry for that. That's okay. Thanks a lot. We need really the impact. Just for example, if you have students We have good teachers. We have students, and they go to university, have their examen. The impact is, where do they work? If they are jobless, there is really no impact. If you transfer it, what you are doing, okay, you are calibrating. What does this calibration mean? What is in terms of, well, we have always asked, what does it mean in terms of money? It's not that easy to justify. Sometimes we are arguing that metrology is a public good, like defense. So if somebody can tell me what is the benefit, money-wise, of defense, I think if you are able to do that, you are a Nobel Prize winner immediately. So that it's not easy to justify what we are doing. You can explain 100,000 times. It's not, and you can do it, but if it's not understood by the policymakers, they want to see figures. And this is really a difficulty. We should work on that, and wherever something is available, please tell us. Please tell us we are happy about these kind of success stories. The good thing is the support for the AQP as well as for all trade arrangements in general and for the AFCFTA in particular is still welcome. Just 2 more slides, or maybe 3, I'm not sure. There is a new reform plan for the German development cooperation. Very strict, but for you, it looks like being perfect. Because Africa remains the focus continent of the German development cooperation. And the cooperation with the AU and the African regional organizations is a central component of this German development assistance. And one of the key focus of the relations with the AU is the realization of the AFCFTA. There is one point I want to really stress here. That is also the reason that my colleague is with me. Whatever we are doing, we have to find the link to this African quality policy, to this what really the African continental free trade area. If we talk about legal metrology in length or in mass or whatever, it is fine. We all know it is very important. But if you look at the policy level, what is the contribution of that? You can talk about consumer protection and so on and so forth. If we find a link to these umbrella strategies or policies, that would be very, very helpful for us as PDB to get money in the future. First, we take measurements, and then we take measures. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, PTB. Presentation by Martin Kaiser. We are now, ladies and gentlemen, the final presentation, last but not the least, from the BIPM to be undertaken by Mr. Chingiz.
Good. Thank you very much. Yes, please. Indeed, the last but not least. Well, good afternoon, colleagues. So my name is Chingiz Kwanbayev. I'm from the International Bureau of Weights and Measures. So I will provide the updates from the BIPM during this reporting period. So many of you are aware what is BIPM. So BIPM is the intergovernmental organization through which member states act together on matters related to measurement science and the measurement standards. So we are the home for the international system of units and for the UTC, and we work with the national metrology institutes of the member states regional metrology organizations and with other international and intergovernmental organizations to promote and to advance the international comparability of measurements worldwide. So as you can see here, so today there are 67 member states and 36 associate states and the economies participate in the BIPM activities, of which 5 member states are from AFRIMETS region and the 36 from 36 associates, 9 associates from AFRIMETS region. So you can see here new member states. Uzbekistan became a member state. In the past they were as an associate. Dominican Republic became a member state, and Albania became as member state, which was in the past as an associate state. And I would like to say welcome to Nigeria, and congratulations for becoming as an associate state. And we have heard today earlier that Nigeria has an idea to become as a member state. So we are always happy to support, provide appropriate assistance, and explain the route how to become a member state. Please contact us. So as for Armenia, from Kumet region, so they became as an associate in June. As for the participation in the CIPM-MRE, today we have around 260 institutes participating in the CIPM-MRE from member states and associates, and there are 4 international organizations invited by the CIPM to participate in the CIPM-MRE. And all of these institutes have declared their capabilities. So you can see here more than 26,000 calibration and measurement capabilities are submitted in the KCDB, and which are backed up by more than 2,000 key and supplementary comparisons. So we have heard several times about the General Conference. So General Conference on Weights and Measures is the supreme body of the BIPM. It's a decision-making body of the BIPM, and it is constituted by the representatives of the member states, and the CGPM is organized every 4 years, and our next meeting, next General Conference is going to be held in October this year. And 7 resolutions draft resolutions will be tabled to the member states, and 3 of them on time metrology, 1 on cross-sectoral activities, so on the further digital transformation of the global metrology system, and 3 resolutions on organizational issues. So one of them we have already discussed several times on the universal adherence to the meter convention, so which will introduce the observer status to the remaining 82 countries that are not yet participating in the BIPM activities as member states and associates. So, colleagues, all the information, the draft resolutions, and the BIPM's work program are available on the dedicated web page of the BIPM website. So, more important is, colleagues, so you need to submit your credentials as soon as possible, so to get a appropriate logistics before the General Conference. As for the as part of the BIPM's liaison activities, we promote metrology to the global regulatory, scientific, trade, and industry community. You can see here a few activities which we have performed during the reporting period. We have signed the MOU with UNESCO. It is to replace earlier CIPM UNESCO agreements which were signed in 1949 and 1952. So this MOU now includes new developments between new relationship, new cooperation between UNESCO and the BIPM. A webinar organized by OECD, PTB, BIPM, and the BSI. So the webinar was organized to launch the OECD report on reinforcing regulatory frameworks through standards, measurements, and insurance. So this actually document is intended to highlight the importance of metrology, standardization, accreditation for the regulatory affairs, and to support the policy making So the document is available through the links and through the BIPM website, and also the webinars which were organized earlier. So here another example of our collaboration. So in this case, we collaborate with UNIDO, OMO, and together we are preparing a publication that that will demonstrate and communicate the tangible value of metrology as a critical enabler of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So the project is organized and we organized by BIPM, OML, and UNIDO, and we work through the regional metrology organizations. And around 10% of the case studies which we have received from the NMIs, they are from AFRIMET's region, and they are submitted through Humphrey. Thank you very much for your active participation, and thanks to you all who submitted their case studies. And this will be the collection of case studies, how metrology was used to support the societal needs. So the publication, as you can see here, briefly will explain the global measurement infrastructure. We will talk about BIPM, OML, and what are the mechanisms are available, including the regional metrology organizations, regional legal metrology organizations, and it will of course, briefly demonstrate how accurate and metrologically traceable measurements contribute to achieving specific sustainable development goals. And it will promote a shared understanding among governments, development agencies, and industry, and it will provide a communication and advocacy resource for the global metrology and quality infrastructure community. So you can, you will be able to use these case studies when you will be talking with your governments, with your partners about the importance of measurements for societal needs. So our aim is to publish this publication alongside of the general conference, and the webinar will be organized by UNIDO in together with BIPM and OML in December this year, and we would like to keep this project until 2030, the UN SDG target year. So until 2030, if you have any interesting cases, you will be able to submit, to send us, and we will further fine-tune and make it available on the BIPM website. As for the World Metrology Day, so we, Dr. Wynand Law, CIPM president, in his presentation on 20th anniversary of the AFRIMETS, mentioned about the first World Metrology Day poster. So, of course, the World Metrology poster actually origins back to early 2000. Was the initiative came from NMI A from South Africa, and of course it further became as a BIPM and OML joint project, and we started to rotate the design of the projects through the regional metrology organizations from 2014, and this year, next year, sorry. So this year's project, this year's design was developed by APMP region, and Singapore is the designer of the World Metrology poster. 2027, the World Metrology poster will be developed by African region, by AFRIMETS, and I've heard that there is already a team has been created who will be submitting the design to us. And of course, the World Metrology Day was proclaimed by UNESCO as UNESCO recognized day from 2023. So, as the part of the World Metrology Day celebration, we organized with UNESCO and with other partners a webinar on the importance of metrology to highlight how the metrology is supporting the policy making, because the World Metrology Day topic for this year was around the policy supporting the decision making, as far as I remember. And the next year's topic will be around innovation. So all the information is available with the AFRIMETS colleagues. So soon we hope to receive a design from AFRIMETS. So as for the capacity building and knowledge transfer of the BIPM, so this program was launched in 2016. So since 2016, we were able to run 83 activities, 40 of them in person and 43 online, with total participation more than around 6,000 NMI and DI experts. And you can see here the AFRIMET's participation. So 414 in online activities, 103 in workshop-based activities, and 28 in laboratory-based placements. And of course, we are not running all these activities alone together. So we are running activities with the support from the National Metrology Institute and from the regional metrology organizations and from other partners. So as for the activities in 2026, we organized the CIPM Summer School, supporting dedicated to ARAMO TC chairs. That was organized in June, at the end of June, beginning of July. And we are planning to organize another summer school for Kumet region on UTC. It will be held in September. And at the request from the AFRIMETS, we actually organized a few days ago on the actually dedicated to AFRIMETS TC chairs workshop on comparisons, how to conduct the comparisons. And we aim to organize BIPM ARAMO forum. So it's a training session for ARAMO secretariats because so that will be held actually in February next year. And because ARAMO secretariats, why do we want to organize that? Because ARAMO secretariats, they are on the front line. So they are communicating with the National Metrology Institutes. So they always receive questions how to become member states, how to participate in the CIPM, so how to do what to do. So we want to equip ARAMO secretaries with appropriate information. So certainly it will increase the effectiveness of the process of the CIPM and the BIPM and ARAMO interaction. As for the laboratory placements, the 9th cycle of the joint BIPM Tupitakume initiative was launched. The selection process has been completed, and the project placement from 1 to 3 months will be started from September this year. And I am sure many of your staff have already participated in this project. And we understood that this type of project is very successful, and we plan to transfer the concept to other NMIs, other ARAMOs. So if you are interested to be as a host, today earlier Dr. Rotish mentioned about why not to organize training activities within AFRIMETS region? Why not to invite each other for trainings and so on, right? If I'm correct. So within that, within the frame of that strategy, so why not that we can have joint collaborative activities exactly on the same way as BIPM to BTAC, but BIPM CAPES perhaps, or BIPM NUMISA project in the future. So that is actually in our plan for 2028-2031. As for the online technical exchange, 3 online technical exchanges dedicated to CMC writers, comparison pilots and participants, and as well as to support the NMIs and ARAMO quality management system personnel. So the last one was organized in June, and we had more than 200 participants online. So in total, 770 participation from NMI and DI experts from the beginning of the year. So here you can see, you can recognize AFRIMETS colleagues from AFRIMETS. In the summer school, we have had Tarek Mohammed and Allah Abd El Majid from Egypt, and Bernard from Zimbabwe, Michael Koza from South Africa, and Patrick Massina also from South Africa. They have taken part in the CIPM summer school dedicated to ARAMO TC chairs. As for the e-learning course, the e-learning platform, so it is the platform for the BIPM and the ARAMO training e-learning material. So all RMOs are participating in this initiative. We have more than around 2,500 users, active users in the platform, more than 40 courses available on the platform. So new courses published during the reporting period. You can see here the course from GCTLM and the course on assembly of gas atmosphere developed by the chemistry department of the BIPM, and the pilot's guide to measurement comparisons and the key aspects of development of key balance. So published from the BIPM, freely available to you all. So access to the e-learning platform. You just need to create your account and take all the courses. All the courses are free of charge. So you are always welcome to take these courses. And we plan to publish e-learning courses that are introducing the BIPM. So actually, what is BIPM? What do we do? What the headquarters can provide? What kind of technical services, calibration services the headquarters can provide to you, and what are the benefits of participating in metrology? So that kind of e-learning course will be available to you all, and also to support the potential observers in the future. And another course will be created based on the OECD publication, which I have shown earlier. So as for the Metrology, so since Metrology journal, so you're all aware about this journal. So since 1st January this year, the Metrology journal became fully open access. So the work of NMIs and BIPM is now fully accessible to everyone. So anyone can access to the scientific papers. As for the comparison reports, so you all remember in the past we used to publish the comparison reports in the technical supplement of Metrology journal. Yeah, of course, according to the CIPMRA, all the comparison reports, they are published in the KCDB. Yeah, and in addition to that, in order to indicate the scientific value of the work, it was suggested to use the Metrology technical supplement to publish the comparison reports. So now, from the December last year, so new entity has been implemented. So the new entity on the BIPM website, so it follows exactly the same structure as the Metrology technical supplement. So in the papers, DOI is assigned, and as well as author's information, including ORCID and ROR identifiers for the institutes are given on that website. So metadata actually collected from the PILOS data. If you remember, in order to publish your comparison reports on the Metrology's technical supplement, you used to use a Word template, right? Nowadays, you can do all the activities in the back office of the KCDB. As a pilot laboratory, you have to write your abstract and indicate all the authors who have contributed to the work and their affiliations. So the information, so it will, the paper will be published on the dedicated web page of the BIPM website. So as for the digital transformation activities of the BIPM, so you are all aware, and I have already mentioned earlier that BIPM is a home for the SI, so International System of Units, and the SI brochure is the PDF version of the SI brochure is available on the BIPM website. It's human readable. So with within the digital transformation project of the BIPM, so we made this SI reference together with other partners, of course, with the consultative committees within the forum. So we made this SI brochure machine actionable knowledge model of the SI brochure. So the first stable version of the SI reference point has been just recently published, and the dedicated webinar was organized how to use that SI reference point. So you can, if you were not able to participate, of course, you can use the link to watch this webinar. So with this note, thank you very much. If you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chingis from BIPM, for that presentation. I would like to appreciate all the delegates for your patience and being around. That was the last presentation, and we are breaking off for tomorrow for the closed GA. Now, before we go, I'll invite the president of AFRIMETE, Dr. Rochish, to come and award the deserving.
Good afternoon. Yes, let's just hold on for a minute, and we are winding up. I think this week I had some obsession with Nigeria, and maybe because they want to be the full member of the MITA Convention. So when I was reading Chinua Achebe, he says, a man who calls his kinsmen to a feast does not do so to save them from starving. I hope Dr. Mugeta is hearing that. They all have food in their houses. When we gather together in the moonlight village ground, it's not because of the moon. Every man can see it in his own compound. We come together because it is good for kinsmen to do so. So this meeting where we have all people here, if it's metrology, I'm sure we can do it. The Chinese can do it in China. Dr. Lu can do it in South Africa, but we are here. Why? Because it's good for us to be together, isn't it? So I think Chinua Achebe knew about these things long time. I don't know if any of you ever watched some interesting movies when I was a small boy called, there was one famous actor called Monk. Did anybody watch it? Or it was only me? Yeah, I see Dr. Lu watched it. Who else? It used to be fun, isn't it? I'm sure most of you watched it. And one of the most interesting part was when he went, of course, everybody was going to see a doctor. So he also thought he also needs to see a doctor. And when he went there, I think this was a psychiatrist or a psychologist, one of them. I don't know the difference between a psychiatrist and a psychologist. What's the difference? I'm not very sure, isn't it? But somebody here knows the difference. So he went and sat there, and then the doctor listened, and then he asked him, what is the problem? So the doctor told him, the problem is you. I said, me? He said, yes. The problem is inside you. Because the only way you can get a solution is by changing your way of doing things, isn't it? So today I was listening to some of the challenges. I was interested in challenges. You saw me taking photos. And then I look at those challenges and I said, these problems, they are inside me. Because something like, my artifact is stuck at customs. Whose problem is it? It's inside me, isn't it? It's because I should have talked with customs and tell them the work I do is very important for them to make more money. You see, if you tell them like that, they will say, they will even write a letter in advance and ask you whether are you planning to bring any artifact next year? In their planning, isn't it? So they will tell you, we just wanted to know if you are planning to bring an artifact next year, and if you can tell us how it's going to impact our budget. Because when they are planning their budget, isn't it? Yeah, so, and then, so I think about that and it's like, maybe the problem is inside me. So to solve it, I don't need anything else. I need to go and talk to them. Yeah? What about crossing the border? We can also have a bilateral visit. And when I go to my neighbor in Tanzania, we can go together to the customs there, and they come to Kenya, they come. And we involve them, isn't it? So what Chinua Achebe was saying, that when we sit down like this, we can solve some of the problems. In fact, when you talk about TPTs, who are responsible for removing them? They are the people inside here, isn't it? They are the QI institutions. If it's something about standards, they are the people in the QI space. If you are talking about accreditation, I remember we talk about trust. Who are the people who can assure trust? Is it somebody outside there? There are people inside here, isn't it? So I reflected on it and I was like, Monk, I think he was talking about me. Because all problems are inside me. Now, yesterday, we appreciated some of the great men and women who founded AFRIMETS. But you see, we were celebrating 20 years of AFRIMETS. Then you cannot celebrate and forget the beginning, isn't it? That's why we came up with some certificates. And those certificates, they were not traceable. And Dr. Mugeta has actually established the traceability of those certificates, and we would like to give them formally now. Unfortunately, some people retired and they're not here. So my request is, if you hear a name and that person comes from your country, and you know, even if you don't know, you know the institution, I'm sure the institution knows where that person is. Please come forward and pick on behalf. And when you go, tell the institutions that we appreciate that they ever had such a person in their institutions, because they made the first step. They say a journey of 1,000 miles begins with what? So those are the people who took the first step. Yesterday we were celebrating how many years? 20 years. If they did not do, would we have been celebrating? Yes. So allow me, I think my deputy president, I don't know the difference between a vice president and a deputy president. You people know. So he will call the names and kindly come forward if it's yours, or if you know somebody, you know the institution, and you can be able to give to the institution.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Certificate of Honor and Recognition presented to Dr. Wynard Law. Let's clap for him, please. Yeah. Dr. Mulugeta can come. Dr. Mulugeta.
We are doing some measurements. Yes. That's why we want people to climb the stairs. We are measuring.
The next certificate of honor and recognition goes to Mr. Martin Kaiser. Excellent. The next certificate of honor and recognition goes to Mr. Donald Masuku.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. So the next certificate of honor and recognition goes to Mr. Stuart Castins.
Oh, yes. You will pick this one.
Please as well. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
He's coming.
Oh, yes.
The next certificate of honor and recognition is presented to Mr. Joe Kioko. Joel Kioko. The next certificate is presented to Ms. Catherine Wandelek. Thank you so much. The next certificate of honor and recognition is given to Dr. Franz Engelsberg. So come back. Wow. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations.
Yesterday you were nervous, but today I wanted you to tell something to the young meteorologist. Please. Hey, Frank, tell something to the young meteorologist. Yesterday you were nervous, today you tell something.
Well, I am a physicist and I ended up in metrology, and the project I got to do was given to me was a project in realizing the candela, one of the 7 base units of the SI. And it was such an interesting project. And we sold in South Africa 7 of these facilities that we had developed. And from New Zealand to Argentina to Italy to Taiwan to so many countries. And the unit was later changed a few years later. If that is not a great experience to get me into metrology, I don't know what is. So I'm so happy, and I thank the Almighty for
Thank you so much. Congratulations. Congratulations. The next recipient of Certificate of Honor Recognition is Mr. Mukai Muzorua.
Who will receive? Yes, someone is from Zimbabwe.
Okay. So the two presidents can help you now with the next letters? Yeah. To receive. Just to receive.
The event is getting sweeter, and I would like to invite the two presidents who are here, President for CIPM and CIML, to come forward and assist.
Thank you so much. So, President, please. So the next recipient of the Certificate of Honor and Recognition is Madam Sohadi Boazizi. The next recipient is Madam Sohadi Boazizi. Let's clap for her. And who receiving for?
Somebody from Tunisia. Boaziz. Madam Boaziz. Okay, Tunisia. No one. Morocco. Yes, you can receive on behalf. and you'll make arrangements. Thank you. Thank you.
The next recipient of Certificate of Honor and Recognition is Professor Dr. Ahmed El Saed.
Egypt. Who can receive? Receive on behalf. Then they will make. I will receive on his behalf.
Oh.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you so much.
Just hold on, please.
The next recipient is Professor Dr. Muhammad Barada.
I think it will be Morocco, yes.
Yes. The next recipient is Mr. Kai Sto Matke.
So this is BTV. Yes.
It's coming. Is Mr. Stefan Walirath.
Come back, please.
The next recipient of Certificate of Honor and Recognition is Professor Dr. Ali Abdulazi. Abdulazi. Yes. The next recipient of the Certificate of Honor and Recognition goes to Mr. Paul Date.
Ghana. And tell him I'll come and see the chemical metrology.
Congratulations. The next recipient of Certificate of Honor and Recognition is Mr. Murad Ben Hassin.
That is Morocco.
The next recipient of the Certificate of Honor and Recognition is the African Union Commission.
No one. Okay.
The next recipient of Certificate of Honor and Recognition is the International Bureau of Weights and Measures. The next recipient of Certificate of Honor and Recognition is the International Organization for Legal Metrology. Thank you so much. We'd like to congratulate all the recipients of the awards this afternoon. Thank you so much. You may seated, please. We'd like also to appreciate all the presenters who presented today. Thank you, Mr. President. All the presenters who presented today. So, President, we need to come and close. All the presenters who presented today, the audience, which was lovely and very attentive. We'd like to appeal to all presenters. Please, if you have not submitted your presentation to Secretariat, please do so now. We are putting all the presentation together so that it can be shared with all the delegates. Thank you so much and have a lovely day. I'd like to invite the President to close the evening now, the day. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. I think we've had a very long day, and I'm happy to see everybody is here. So you can now see that Ajeve was right, isn't it? We have all enjoyed, we have all watched the moon together, and we feel good. And we appreciate the work that metrologists are doing. You've seen from Dr. France that there's a lot of opportunities. And I challenge young metrologists. Yesterday I said, your job is to build. So I hope in the next year, we'll be having a session where we are doing some presentation on the innovations from AFRIMETS, innovations from the young metrologists who are in this continent. Okay. Yes, I will give them the chance because, it's better said. They say if you want to get something done, you better do it yourself, isn't it? So if I announce that, I might not get it right. So I will also give Dr. Mulugeta a chance to say that. So mine is to appreciate all of you for the work you've done. I know we are having only one day, and tomorrow is a day for closed GA. And I think the members who attend the closed GA know it, and therefore, I would like to give a chance to Dr. Mulugeta to say something before I close. Otherwise, I appreciate your coming. Those who will not be there tomorrow, I wish you a safe journey. And always remember, metrologists never retire. They stay aside and watch the others. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tomorrow afternoon, we will have a city tour, but in the morning, while we are in closing meeting, those who are here, please, I invite you to visit the Ethiopian Conformity Assessment Enterprise. There are state-of-the-art technologies for testing and inspection, and also they do certification. I hope you will have huge experience because some of you comes from organizations who have both of them, the conformity assessment and the metrology calibration together. So you will have very good experience. Thank you very much.
Good. I don't know, maybe Martin will correct me. They say that, I used to be told that you don't need to know everything, but you need to know where to get it if you need it. Is it true, Martin? So, the visit to the conformity is very important because you will get to know what is there. So that if you need it, you know where to get it from. I was there, I think 2 years ago, and I looked at their facility, and actually they have certain scopes that sometimes I need, and therefore I can only use either KQ or Ethiopian Airline. It is brought here early. You know, they arrive here at 5 a.m. So by evening, I have results in my inbox. So it's a good opportunity to visit. And you remember I said, let's get to know the capabilities within the continent, because that's one of our projects as AFRIMETS, so that if you need it, you know where to get it from. So with those few remarks, I would have wished to give a chance to Wynand just to close it. There's a reason, and I'm seeing my deputy there. Just you can close for us.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you very much, AFRIMETS Chair. It is such a pleasure to have been here with you this week. I'm flying out tomorrow because I must go somewhere else on Saturday. So see you then for the last time quickly now. But I want to give a message to the President, the Chair of AFRIMETS, and all of you in the room, because it's you now that will take AFRIMETS to for the next 20 years. And I said to the Chair when I came up, I hope that in 20 years from now, I can still walk up the stairs like France. But with that, let me not keep you longer. It was such a pleasure to work with you. I'm quite sure I will see a lot of you still, but all the best to the leadership of AFRIMETS. All the best for the future. And you know that even if I'm retired, I'm always there if you need to know something of the past. And I'm sure that my successors in the CIPM will also continue to support AFRIMETS, and also, of course, the BIPM and the BIML OIML. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good evening and all the best with your close GA tomorrow. And those that are flying back tomorrow to your home, have a safe flight. Thank you.